Live, y'all, and it's going down. My bad. Welcome to Father Type, working on perfect, y'all. Working on perfect. This is episode 19, and this should have been done on Sunday, but it wasn't. Yesterday, yeah, but it wasn't. Unfortunately, shit happens, and sometimes time get away from you, from me. It happens to everybody, and it just didn't happen. So this is episode 19. 19. If you've been following the channel, you see that the first set of principles or steps in working on perfect, the first episodes were the principles of how we're supposed to live by. Not all of them, just a good place to start, right? A foundation. And I'm all supposed to, must. And so each episode we talked about the different principles, and then the last 7 episodes we went into the principles that we all must know that govern life. It operates a certain way. Certain things in life just happen, works in a certain way. There are principles, there's laws that are in play that no matter whether you believe it or what religion, it doesn't matter. I like to say gravity is gravity. It's going up, it's coming down. That gravity never stops. Now, there is a force that you can create that can stop it from coming down, but it's not stopping it from coming down. It's just the force is stronger holding it up, right? So it's two forces that are together, but it doesn't matter whether you believe that or not. It just happens, you know? So it's principles like that are just, and so that's what the last episodes. But today's episode is probably, I might argue it might be the best episode of all of them because it talks about how everything relates, and so how the principles, the laws of the universe, how it all relates and how it works together to become this godly perfect being that we all are supposed to become. Must, period. And and if you do it the right way, then voila, look what happens. You become this perfect being that we all are created to be. And I can prove it. When I say that, and I'm just gonna go with the ones that it's not even about proving it. I'm just gonna go with the ones that if you subscribe in any measure to the Bible, right? If you just believe in it, never read it, but you believe in it. You just say, yeah, you respect it just because it's the Bible. If you got any type of appreciation for it, then this is for you because it's in that book, that Bible, right? That everybody has some level of respect or love for. And the ones who don't, cool. This ain't for you. But if you do, it says in that Bible that we are gods and we must be perfect. Let that marinate. Matthew 5:40. Well, let me give it to you so we can just go there. Again, it's not church, y'all. This just facts. And this is going on the principles in the Bible. Again, if you're not into the Bible, cool. I wasn't into the Bible, and I'm still not in it the traditional way. I'm not have to be Christian. You don't have to be Muslim. You don't have to be. You just have to be open. You got to be really kind of just alive to read it if you want to read it. And then if you looking for certain truths and kind of just confirm some things that people say about the Bible, right? It's a powerful book. So that's what led me to it. Very non-traditional way, just for almost like proof. Let me see what this book says for real, man. Because you hear the scriptures all the time. You grow up hearing them. Different churches, you hear scriptures just thrown at you, right? This church said this way, talk about this. This church, people just go to different scriptures instead of actually going to the Bible, right? I say, fuck all that shit. I'm going to the book. We're going to start in the beginning. I'm going to read this shit for myself. Why? Because that's how you read all books. I would argue that, I don't know what's wrong with the Bible or what's right with it that makes people think this is the only book you cannot, not only cannot, not supposed to, is like so many different beliefs about the Bible, whether you can read it or not, in a certain way. Like they read it from the middle. It's okay, you can start from the middle, but how to make that make sense. And so I'm just, it's hard for me to move past things that don't make sense to me. Hey, what's up? I'm a kid. Amen. I'm a Latina. Can you say, hey, mommy? Hey, mommy. What's up, kid? What's up, y'all? Johnny Motez. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. This is Father Type, a place where dreams are mandatory. And I mean mandatory. So subscribe, because we teaching how to actually do that. So now, when you understand that these are commands, these are commands. This is what you must do in order to have certain things. That one thing that you are promised to have is this thing called life, which you already have, right? So you're alive. and the idea is, in order to live, right? Just say the idea, you woke up one day, you say, you know what, man, you know what? I just feel like living today. Whatever that means to you, whatever it means, doesn't really matter. Because all it does, it has to make sense, right? And when you're talking to me, you got to make sense to me. I'm going to have a conversation. Like, okay, what do you mean by that? So you want to, well, you woke up, you said you want to live today. Okay, what does that look like? I want to live with you. I'm fucking with you. Let me live with you. What does your day look like when living? Like, I want to know. If I feel like getting up with you, going eating with you, going, it's all a part of it, right? We're going to eat lunch together. We're going to eat dinner. What are we going to do? You going to work? You're not going to work? You're going to the gym? Like, this is what Father Type is all about. I kind of just decided to take my life and how I'm living on the road, and to show and teach people how I'm living according to how you're supposed to live, working on it. And I would argue that this is the way. I would argue that what I have found is that there are different ways to go about it, but the principle is the principle. It doesn't change. Love is love. It's not supposed to change. If it's going to change, then you should be something called disclosure, right? You should be able to say, okay, you know what? I only love, I don't have agape love for you. I will never have unconditional love for you, right? I can only have this type of love for you. Then that's clear. You're letting the person know what you're getting into. Like, I might slap the shit out of you one day when I'm mad and I'm frustrated. Forgive me. That's a different type of love. I still love you though. Right? You just got to be clear on what your intentions are when you with life, with you. What are you doing, and what are you doing with others? If that makes sense, this shit in my head is a perfect fucking world. So then we get to a perfect relationship, right? A relationship, the word basically is how everything relates, how it works together. Let's start there, right? Then you get into types of relationships, and I say this all the time. People are in relationships that they don't even know it. It's just they're not good relationships, so they'll say, I'm not in a relationship. What you're really saying is, I'm not in a good relationship, right? That's what you're really saying, because you are in a relationship if you're in relation to something. You know, you shit. I'm 10 feet away from Liam in relation to where he's at. You see, so the word relationship is power. It's a strong word because when you really understand what it means to relate to something and then build a relationship out of that relation. How are we relating? You know, the only way you can kind of do that, and I would argue the only way, but the guaranteed way, there may be other ways that may work. I have a guaranteed way. It's first, before you can relate, you have to know what it is you're dealing with, right? what it is you're dealing with. That it is important because we got to put a name to it, right? Because there's so much shit out here. And the reason why we sometimes don't know what to deal with it because we don't know what it is, so then we panic, right? Whatever. It just don't work out right. We don't know what it, sometimes we don't even deal with it because we don't know what it is. So we scared of it. And this is a little sidebar, but I'm gonna tell you this. We gotta learn to love the roach. How many people out here saving roaches? And roaches are created by the same God that created you. That's probably the simplest way I can say this type of love you're supposed to have and understand, right? Love the roach. Give the roach a chance. Now, if the roach is hard-headed and don't want to listen, step on his ass. The survival, again, we go back to the first principles that I started the episodes with. The first top 4, my main principles that I teach is number 1, live life with an attitude of gratitude. Very important. You got to. But my number 4, we got love life unconditionally, and then respect life at all times. These are commands, right? But these are commands that are in the Bible. I just worded them. The principle is the principle. So the next one is protect life by all means. What that means is give the roach a chance. Because you recognize that this is how you learn how to deal with something. You got to know what it is you're dealing with. So I recognize the life in the roach, right? So you got to be able to recognize life when you see it. It might not look like you. If it does look like you, it's a little easier. Like, but sometimes it look like you, and you don't understand that either. You're like, damn, you look like me, but what the fuck? Where they come from? But the beautiful thing is when you understand life, how it works, everybody is really doing the same shit. Surviving, figuring out how to live, right? The roach is trying to live. He really fucking with you, right? Even when he bites you, he do it on purpose. Well, I can't say he didn't do it on purpose. He did do it on purpose, but he was really just, I don't know, maybe he was greedy or maybe he was hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you kind of measure that? Yo. But anyway, I'm kind of going off talking, and I could kind of go down this rabbit hole kind of deep. So if we understand that what relationship means and to relate to something, then we talk about relating to you, right? As a man, as a woman. And this is where it's important to have an idea of what you want for your life. I'm a man, that was my cousin. Right? So in order to have a perfect relationship, you have to be perfect. You can't. It's simple math, and this is what I teach. Also, it's simple math. A positive and a positive is positive, right? Good is good. A positive times a negative is negative. It's negative. So in order to have a perfect relationship or even a good relationship, let's just say a lot of people don't believe in perfect. That's on because you haven't studied the word. And I'm not, damn, you see how I go on different tangents and they all kind of come together because now I've got to break down the definition of perfect. But I'm not going to do that right now. So when you talk about the man and and the woman, they both kind of have to have an idea of what they want to do with their life. I mean, that just kind of, you got to get to a point where you kind of know what you want to do with your life, and then you start learning how to do that. That's kind of the simplest way I can. I don't. This shit is so simple in my head. So then, how do you want to live? Do you want to be loved? Or do you not? Do you want to be respected, or do you not? There really is no in between, right? It really, if you think about it, there is no in. That in between is the bullshit. You say you got love for me, but how? And you lying and cheating and all this crazy. What type of love is that? That's the bullshit in between. Well, I love you sometimes. The agape love. The difference is the agape love. So I'm only talking about the agape love, y'all. Everything else you got to kind of explain. Like, well, I don't love you unconditionally. Okay, cool. Then give me your conditions. What must I do for you to love me? And then I know if I do this, you're gonna love me. Now you got to stick to it. If I don't do those things and I kind of do my own thing, then you might smack the shit out of me. You got to have those conditions if they are conditions. That's just being clear on what it is you're doing with your life. It's my shit, my life. This is what I'm doing. What you want me to do? This is my car. I'm cleaning it. I'm driving it. Whatever. This is my life. Same shit. Same concept. But we don't see life as valuable as a pair of shoes because we'll clean it. We'll take care of the shoes. We'll clean the shoes. But shit, we won't take care of our life the same way. We're not eating good. We're not thinking good. We're not. We're not even thinking at all. We're not. Like. And the men, so-called men, and I don't call them. If you out here fussing with women or the opposite sex or anybody, then really, to me, you just neither one of nobody has figured out how to be themselves. Right? Because just because somebody else is an asshole don't mean you have to be an asshole. Because guess what? You become an asshole. And then you could say, well, they did it, but it doesn't matter whether they did it. You still became an asshole at that time, which is cool. But that's not what you're supposed to be doing, right? If you're supposed to be perfect. Now, there is things that you get away with it. If God, and it works, it works. But just be mindful that at any time you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, there's consequences. Some severe than others. That's a part of being perfect. When you're mindful of what you're doing. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I don't feel like getting up today. Cool. Got it. You just understand that today is you're gonna have to make that up sometime. You gotta fix it at some point or catch up. But even catching up is fixing it. It's cool. As long as you know what you're doing. Because the goal is to be perfect. So we got to get back on track. The less you get off track, the easier it is to get back on track. Right? You get to a point where you just coasting. Relationships. I kind of just ramble. What goals do you have? We all should be leading with that. What are you doing with yours? How do you see yourself with me? Do you? Am I cooking? You cooking? We cooking? What? How does that look? We got to eat. We understand that. Who's cooking? Who's working? What are we working on? What's happening? I know what I'm working on, but you can only have that type of conversation when you know what you're working on. Because now, when it's your time to share, you got to be able to share. You can't just be nosy. What you got going on? You ain't really got shit going on yourself. Now you're just trying to be tag along. Have some. Well, both people have to be whole, man and woman, and you got to define that. And it can't be emotional. The emotional part have to come last. So, a perfect relationship is really the two of whatever that thing is, man and woman, dog, cat, whatever you're dealing with, how are you guys aligning yourselves with each other? What is your definition of respect? Because I need to know what you call respect, because I might not call respect. Let me give you I I used to always feel like, when you're talking on the phone to somebody and you know how you get another phone call, and a lot of people actually do this. They just say hold on and click over. Just hold on, click over. Hold on, click. They do that, in businesses, whatever. When they answer the phone, please hold, click. That's a little bit more polite. But the hold on and click over automatically, yo, that was a problem for me. And it kind of still is, but I don't really address it so much, because it doesn't happen so often. And I learned to kind of pick and choose my battles, because that was a biggie for me. Like, damn. So what I would do is when they say hold on and click, I'll hang up the phone. And when I hang up the phone, by the time they done, they'll call back. Hey, why you hung up? Well, I thought you hung up. I said hello, and I didn't hear anything. They said, well, I said hold on. I said, well, did I respond? How do you know I heard you? I didn't hear you. You said something, but I wasn't sure what it was. I just know I was saying hello, and nobody was there, so I hung up the phone. See, it avoids that. That's why I always, and I think it's respectful to when you're putting somebody on hold on, please, and you wait for them to say okay. That way, there's no confusion. That was a big pet peeve of mine. And I would hang up every time. Hold on, click. Hold on, click. I'm not holding on. I didn't. You're not gonna tell me to hold on. You're gonna ask me. Will you hold, please? Why? Because I'm gonna ask you. And if you talk to me and you know what I'm talking about, if we talk enough, you'll never hear that. You'll always hear me wait for a response. I will always say, hold on. And then if you don't respond, I'm gonna come and say, hold on. Hello? Hold on 1 second, please. And I'm gonna say it again so that you can respond. It's almost like one time, not one time, quite a few times. I do it all the time. Well, whenever it happens, when you leave it, walking outside the store, and you holding the door for somebody, especially a woman. But I don't mind holding the door for a dude, a man, or woman. Men and women can operate like that. There's no ego. There's no insecurity. I'm talking about a real man, a man that understands what must be perfect means, right? That a man, according to the Creator. You can hold the door for another man because a man sees mankind. And then we understand how mankind operates, male, female. This is the gender. That's a principle, by the way. If you go back and watch, I think it's episode it might be 16, 17, the principle of gender. When you understand that, it has to be. There's a male, there's a female, there's a masculine, and there's a feminine. It's energy that that exists separately at the same time. Not separately, I take the back. Because it's relevant. That's another principle. I can get into all damn. I'm not even gonna get into that. You gotta watch the previous episodes. But principle of gender is that's how all life works. This is why it's crazy, because when I read the Bible, it clicked to me about Noah and getting two of everything so that he could survive. Noah understood. When God talked to Noah, Noah had this epiphany, this awareness, this awakening to say, oh shit, wait a minute. This is how life works. He saw what was going on. Like, what's going on in the world? Everybody on some bullshit. Doing this. And Noah wasn't on it, right? He out here in it, but he really was living a righteous life, a different type of life. Right? But he saw what was going on, which is what he's supposed to be doing. He's paying attention. He's being responsible. Like he's a man. He taking, and something say, man, listen, God say, you gotta go. You gotta get you and your family. This the God talking to him. Kind of the same thing that God be telling me. You gotta Listen, pay attention, man. I tell my children all the time, be vigilant. I tell them, pay attention. Keep your head on the swivel. You got to pay attention to what's going on around you. But when you tap into life, then everything around you is happening, whether you know it or not. You got to be able to decipher what's good, bad, and the ugly. That makes sense.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We don't have to go. Is it come out here?
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
What's up?
I'm gonna shoot you some gas money. You take them?
Yeah, I'll take it. So you staying here?
Yeah. I'm on live.
I said I wanted to drive it.
Not today. I mean, I'm not.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, come on. You say you gonna shower? Wow, we still gonna pass out some flyers. Nah? I said we're gonna do it when the sun comes down.
Was the plan, yeah.
My bad, y'all. Good evening, Young Larry. I'm a man that was my cousin.
Tag along?
Hey, hey,
Yeah.
I'm dry.
Huh?
I'm dry. Come on.
You're gonna
You
drive?
going for your baby? Let me drive. And then we just gonna go past our supply. I'm on live. Let me end my live. Yo, no, I'm not gonna actually end my live. Should I?
No. You're talking in the car while I drive.
To be continued.
Who's the other guy?
Hold on one second, y'all.
Yeah, you could. Long live King Draco.
You coming over here tomorrow? Or you could go bread on Wednesday?
You talking to me? No, I'm gonna come on tomorrow. Hey, Liam. My bad, y'all. Good thing about working on Perfect, even though you do the episodes and try to keep it, I'm not gonna say try. I keep it as organized as possible, given everything that goes on while working on Perfect. But I can actually still keep it an episode, but it's live. So yeah, it's live. Anybody, it's nobody on here right now. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. Those who might come back and watch it, God bless you guys. Figure out what you want to do with your life, y'all. Fuck it. and go for it. Why not? God bless you.